Try that again. Good morning, Jags. All right. I know you're excited to be up early. I really appreciate it. I see some parents in the house as well, or guardians. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Come on in and sit down below. We are going to film this just so that we can post it for those Running Start students that couldn't be here today. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Mrs. McMullen. I'm the career specialist here at Emerald Ridge. And also, I work with our community service club and kind of take the lead on our Running Start students. So just to clarify, I know you have your academic counselor, and they are amazing, and you'll be in a lot of communication with them. But I kind of take it upon myself to make sure that you guys are getting all the information you need in order to have a successful journey with balancing college and the high school. So that's the piece where I come in, and we'll go over that in more detail. So I'm really glad that a lot of you came. I want to do some introductions. I'm kind of waiting for people to come in. So in the back there, Kelly, if you could, Mrs. McGrill, stand up. So this is our awesome office manager, Mrs. McGrill. And so she's in the front office, and she's a great person to have communication with as well. So if I'm not available, my assistant isn't, you have Mrs. McGrill. And she makes sure that stuff gets posted on social media so that you're getting the information that you need. And then we have Ms. Batia. She is one of our amazing assistant principals. I don't know who's met her already. Raise your hand. Yep, see, awesome. And we have Ms. Buxton over there, and she's our on-time grad specialist, amazing lady that really helps to ensure that you guys are on track with graduation. With all the state assessments and what have you. So we'll get to that in a minute. And then I'm hoping that Lynette comes in so they can see her face when she's done, you guys. So I have one more person to introduce, which is my assistant. She was just hired, and she's still working at the fair. So she's only here on Tuesdays, and then after the fair, you will see her all the time. So I just want you guys to know that because it's important for you guys to see the team that's here to support you. I want to also say that the Career Center, that's your Career Center. So if you don't have a place to go, you've got questions, you need to be in there. I have an open door policy. You do not need an appointment to see me. You can reach out to me at any time. You'll be getting emails from myself or my assistant, and we will always answer. So Miss Butler back there, wave. That's my assistant right there in the Career Center. So make sure that you're connecting with her as well. All right, you ready to get started? Because I know some of you are really complaining about being here this early. Who is complaining? Yeah, I got it. It's important, so I'm glad you guys are here. Really, I am. I think this is super important. All right, so a couple things. When you guys signed in today, we have to go over a few things with students' rights and responsibility. That was the indicator that you guys are going through this. And there's actually some good information in here for you guys to understand, especially as Running Start students, because some are on campus, some are not. So give me, so I have a reference. How many seniors are here? Raise your hand. Okay, and the rest junior. Let me see the juniors, just so I can kind of gauge. Okay, cool. How many of you are full-time at the college the entire time? Okay, and raise your hand if you do have classes here on campus. Okay, just want to have that gauge. Okay, thank you. So first of all, we just wanted to show you, Ms. Batia, do you want to talk about any of this, or you just want me to go? Wait, okay, so here is just a graph with our discipline incidents last year. As you can very well see, the biggest issue that we have here at Emerald Ridge is our attendance. And we take that serious. So we're really working hard to get those numbers down. We've had some other incidences, but for the most part, I consider that very low. Ms. Batia, do you agree? Yes, for the most part. Failure to cooperate, we need to get that down a little bit. But that attendance is a huge thing. And that's a huge thing for you guys. So for those of you that are part-time, I can't stress this enough, and this comes up all the time. Okay, well, you have a different bell schedule, Ms. McMullen. What am I supposed to do because I have a peers class? We know that they put stipulations on your classes. You can only miss so many, like leaving early isn't easy or coming in late isn't easy. We get that, and that's important. But the biggest thing about today is we're going to talk about communication. Don't communicate that with me. You need to let your teachers know here on campus if there's a conflict in your schedule. Our teachers are amazing at accommodating that. They'll say, okay, here's what we're doing that day. So they'll give it to you in advance, or they'll let you know this is what you can do since you're not gonna be here that day. Or it's okay if you come late, I won't mark you tardy. Like, have that conversation with them. If at any time you don't feel comfortable having that conversation, it happens. I know that's a life skill. Sometimes that's just difficult to do. Let me know, and I will definitely go with you. I mean, that's what we're here for. We will help you through that process. But that communication with your teacher is big. I know that our assistant principals here, they are working very hard on this attendance. So if you're constantly coming in late for your class that's here on campus, you're going to get a phone call. You will be pulled in. If it's a conflict all the time, then we need to look at what we can do and meet with your counselor to make that change, all right? Any questions about that? Because I know that's always a big problem with our Running Start students. No, we're good? Okay. Anything to add to that, Ms. Bhatia? Did that cover it? Okay. So you can read this yourself, attend today, achieve tomorrow. I mean, again, really big on attendance. If you're sick, do stay home. I can tell you how many times I get students come in my office, oh my gosh, I have a fever, I'm so sick. I'm like, you can step out now. And I'm not a rude person. They laugh, we laugh, and I hand them a box of Kleenex. Yes.
I will tell you that if students have 20 consecutive days where they are not here, their schedule is dropped. You do not want that to happen, especially as seniors, because you need everything, all the class teachers fresh. Make sure you call in sick if you are sick.
So especially for you part-time Running Start students, that's kind of big. Okay, I got the Pierce College stuff, now I got to make sure that I'm abiding by what the Puyallup School District is asking for. So again, as she said, make sure you call in if you're not going to make it to class that day. And again, communicate with your teacher. Okay, this talked about it, the tardies, the unexcused. And like I said, we're going to be doing weekly checks. They're going to be on this. So I just want to avoid that happening, you guys. I know if it gets bad, our assistant principals will probably be having a conversation with counselors, and then, if we have to make change to schedule, we will. And again, like Ms. Bhatia said, that's huge for a senior. We don't want to mess with your schedule. We don't want to mess with anyone's schedule. But if we need to, because this is becoming an issue, then that's what's going to happen. So just, again, that big time communication, and just informing us and the teachers what's going on, and talking with your counselors. And we definitely don't want those unexcused absences. So again, make sure that you're calling in with that. And then read this for a second. So this is about failure to cooperate, reasonable request by an adult, equals student follow through, being respectful, seek clarification. Don't agree with the request, follow through anyway. Those are some hard things to do sometimes, right? The follow through if you're not agreeing. What I tell students all the time, and this happens a lot when you have to have that communication for our part-time Running Start students, having the ability to go to that teacher and just say, hey, you know what? I hear what you're saying, I'm gonna do what you say, but I'm not agreeing with it. It's okay to let them know how you're feeling. They may say something in response that, oh, okay, that's kind of triggering, I get this now. And you guys, this goes the same even at the college. You've got to follow through. You need to be respectful with those professors. I know that sometimes we will have conversations with the colleges, and they're like, gosh, you know what? These Running Start kids are just not listening. They think they can just do what they want to do. We don't want to hear that. We know our JAGs are amazing. But just being respectful, listening, following through. It's okay to voice your opinion. I can't stress that enough, in a respectful manner, and have that conversation. That's just a skill set, life skill set. Anything else on that, you guys? Good? Yeah? Okay. I'm going fast because I want to honor their time. So Ms. Bhatia, you stop me if I'm going too fast. Okay, so let's talk about that communication. I know this is small and I apologize. So a couple of things. Check assumptions. Communicate with your teacher, involve counselor and family, meet with your assistant principal. I gotta just share a life experience with you. I ended up getting an email last night that I was included on. I appreciated that. It was directed to someone else. I just talked to this with my assistant, Miss Butler, and I was super annoyed. I was like, no, that's not okay. I'm not okay with this. Actually typed this big, long email in response, and something in my gut just kept saying, I don't know. So I kept rereading it. I changed some words to make it sound nicer. And you know, through email, you gotta be super careful with that, right? Email and texting. Finally, I just thought, I'm gonna sit on this for a minute, and I never sent it. Because when I really looked at the big picture, I understand why that email came out. It's not that I agreed fully with it, but I understand where it's coming from. I'm gonna have a conversation with that person, kind of face to face, so I understand even more, and just let them know, what I'm thinking at the time. Again, it's a skill set, you guys. I mean, first response, you wanna get mad, you wanna respond, but just, be careful with that. Assume positive intent, just take time to reflect on it before you make that reaction, whether it be with a teacher that's asking you a question in the hallway. Like for Running Start students, if you're full-time, sometimes it takes us time to get to know you. So we may go, hey, I'm sorry, what's your name? Don't take offense to that. We're like, wait, are you supposed to be on campus? That's like a big thing. We're trying to keep everybody safe, and we're trying to get to know you guys. So just know that, assume positive intent. But then again, that communication, and what's not up there, please consider me one of those people. Like if you need to talk, I know a lot of Running Start students email me all the time. Oh my gosh, don't hesitate. Again, open door policy, whatever it is, personal, academic, reach out and have that conversation with me. So it goes with the academics, athletics, same thing, and your peers. Be kind with your texts. Sometimes students come to me and they show me some of the text messages that come through. Not good. So just process it, reflect before you send it, and just really have more face-to-face conversation than just using that social media to communicate. Down here, the bottom left, you can see Assistant Principal Alpha, Ms. Bhatia, who's here. We work with all students, but they do break down the alpha. So when it comes to attendance and all the different things coming up, that they focus on that alpha by your last name, okay? And then there's the Counselor Alpha, which you guys probably already know because you're Running Start. And then the safety concerns, same thing. Check assumptions, communicate with most accessible adult right away. We're really big about respect. We really hit that hard in classes last week. It's kind of gone into this week too. So for those of you that are full-time, you did not get that, but we're really talking about students, talking with students about being respectful, respecting each other, respecting teachers, respecting our space. That also plays out, like even checking assumptions, when we're off campus. If you're at a sporting event, any school-related event, these rules apply. They never change, and we'll get into that a little bit more. So just know that as we move on. So again, respect yourself, others, your environment, think before you act. Kind of already talked about that. Cell phone policy, so for those that are part-time, go ahead and read that for a moment so you can see what our cell phone policy is here. So that's mainly targeted on our part-time ones. Any questions about the cell phone policy? Any questions? Okay. All right. So one thing I want to say before I get into this is that, again, any school-related event. So if you're going to a volleyball game that's at a different school, we always have staff that are there, and we see that you're vaping, tobacco, alcohol, whatever, same rules apply. Not allowed, guys. I shared a message with Mr. Lasso, our principal, because my daughter-in-law was hired for one of the medical teachers, and we went over this with all students. And she said, I am just shocked by the statistics that the vaping is showing. So she came from industry. She's worked as an emergency room tech for 5 years and also as a CNA. And she said, I can't tell you how many students, young adults, have come in, and I didn't even know this, and the vape has exploded. Basically, they have a hole in their face, What? Like, that shocked me. I did not even know that. And she said that's like an everyday occurrence. It's awful. So she really shared that with her students, which can be a little bit graphic, but it's the truth. So we care about you guys. So there's the school rule piece, not allowed, right? But we also want you guys healthy. I really hope that you do some research and really look at this. But let's talk about this really quick. So this is all about the vaping and the facts on the vaping, and then what our interventions are. You can see that, number one, contact home, referral to, what's that, P1? What is that? Oh, prevention intervention specialist. I don't have my notes, so bear with me. And then you always, if you're caught, you have to take the mandatory district-sponsored intervention class. So you would have to work that in your schedule. It's the only way that that happens. So, okay, you're running START. Well, you know what? I'm full-time. I got caught at a sporting event, but I go to Pierce. What would we do, Miss Batia?
It's still a lot of the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's still ours.
Yep, so you'd still have to attend that class. You would still have to meet with the principal, all of that.
And just so you guys know, within the last 1 to 2 weeks, more studies have come out about vaping, about 400 cases recently of severe lung disease, and as of last night, 5 people have died from vapes.
Yep. Oh, I mean, I thought it was the same thing. Okay, any questions? So here's the other thing I want to put out there when it comes to this. If this is you right here, you're like, gosh, you know, I get it, I know, I read it, I just don't know how to stop. Come see one of us. Come see your counselor, come talk to me. You're not going to get in trouble for that. We'll have the conversation, we'll give you the resources you need to get some help. Okay, so just know that. Fighting. Again, we're talking about, well, there's the definition of what we consider fighting, but being responsible, focus on your goals. You don't want to get suspended. Be respectful, stay out of the drama. Again, the social media, getting in the middle of it. Be resourceful, seek adult intervention. Also, don't be a bystander and watch it happen. If you're seeing something, you know, you've seen the text, you've seen the bullying that's happening, and you know that a fight's going to occur, you need to tell one of us. Let us know so that we can stop it. Because being a bystander and just watching it happen is just as guilty as being in the fight. All right? So just know that. We take that serious. And again, I'm going to keep saying this. This also goes off campus at any school activity events. Harassment, same thing. We don't even, how do I want to say this? We take this serious. If somebody is feeling harassed or bullied, you may not think that you're doing it, but if a student is feeling that, we honor that, we're on it, we have conversations. We have no leeway with that. That's just not okay. We take that very serious. Physically or emotionally harms a student or his, her property, substantially interferes with the student's education, or substantially disrupts the orderly operation of the school. Anything you want to say about that, Ms. Batia?
Just that it is taken extremely seriously, and that if a student is found to be harassing, to be bullying somebody, they're going to have to go through the training, and just super seriously, we don't want anybody caught up. It's not worth it.
Yeah, definitely not worth it. And you guys, you know, you're good students. Same thing goes with bullying and what we consider bullying, the definition. And what does that mean? Well, physically or emotionally harming a student or his property, interfering with their education, disrupting, same thing. So again, we take that very, very serious.
Different from harassment. Harassment can occur once. Bullying is
Continuous.
Continuous.
Yes. Yep. And there you go. Conflict and bullying. So just take a minute to read that. Gosh, I know I have a few cases each year I work on. I know you guys, you are working on that all the time. What I love about our culture here, what I've seen, is that students coming forward, that aren't part of it. They're witnessing it, and they really want to help another student, want to help their peer. And gosh, we admire that. That is amazing. And I just hope that that culture continues to build, because it's important. Because sometimes it is not easy coming forward if you're feeling that way. And we understand that. And if you happen to see something like this happening, and you come, like say you come to me, Mrs. McMullen, this is what I've been watching, this is what I'm seeing, I don't know for sure how the student's feeling, or maybe I did talk, your name's kept out of it. Like, just know when you're talking to us, that confidentiality, we honor that completely. So don't feel that you can't come have that conversation, all right? Oh, see, I keep jumping ahead. There's the part about bystanders. So, you can see there, walk away, refuse to participate in the bullying behaviors, offer support, report the incident, speak up. Speak up, I can't stress that enough, right? Even if you're seeing it on the college campus, you guys, let us know. I mean, you guys are Jags. It does not matter. It could be maybe a student from another high school, but if it's happening on the college campus, we still want to know about it, all right? Support system. So in the library, we have this box. Anytime, if you don't feel comfortable coming and speaking with us, anytime you want to leave a comment, please go in there. That's confidential. You can just drop a note. That box is always there. It's drilled in. It's not going to move. No one's going to take it. So please do use that as another method of communicating. And then you will see around, does it give a list of who? There we go. So when you see this safe zone, these are our staff that are part, how do I say that, Buxton? They've gone through the training. They know the right things to say, the next steps, the process. Our assistant principal, Mr. Mills, our school psychologist, a couple of teachers, and Ms. Hepworth, if you have her for counselor, all of them have been through the training. And so they really are on this. They know what needs to happen. But again, I'm going to tell you that you're safe with all of us. So what would happen, like if you come talk to me because you're comfortable with that, I would still seek their advice, like, hey, here's what's going on, because I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. So you speak to someone that you're comfortable with, is what I want to stress. But these folks up here have been trained, and so they know the right steps. We have this HIV form for reporting an incident. So are those kept in the front office? Yeah? Okay. And then just so we're clear, drugs and alcohol, possession, use, or distribution, not allowed. That is immediate suspension. Along with the tobacco, and vaping, you do have to go to classes. Do you have to go to classes for the other alcohol and that stuff too?
Yeah, well, there's, you have a drug or alcohol charge, something that you have to do a assessment off-site.
Okay, got you. And then dress code, you can read that. No sexually oriented themes, alcohol, drug, violence. And you guys are juniors and seniors, so you've seen this before. So the hoods, that's always a new one. I know, was that 2 years ago? So when you're on campus, you can wear hats, but you can't have your hoods pulled up. So when a teacher or a staff member asks you, hey, pull your hood down, don't take offense to that. Assume positive intent. Those are the school rules. We're just trying to abide by it with every student. PDA, kissing and inappropriate displays. A hug, holding hands is fine. We don't want to see the kissing, making out, all that on campus, all right? So honor that. Oops, I went too fast. Okay, so here is kind of a matrix to see everything, being responsive, and it's probably small, huh? Or that's probably my old eyes. Responsible and respectful. This is going to be sent out to you guys so you can really read it in great detail, but it breaks it down by in the classroom, common areas, extracurricular, and parking lot. So just take a moment to glance over that. Again, this is going to be emailed out to you, but we're taking this serious, so it's important that everyone gets this and what we expect of your behavior. Because you are awesome students and you're awake, except for the one in front of you. McGrail hit his head. He deserves it. He's been harassing me the whole time. All right, so maybe we should do like jumping jacks. I should have brought donuts this morning. You guys, I know that for some of you, you're like, oh my gosh, I've been through this. It's real important that we're getting this information out to you. I know that you guys have heard some of this before, but super important. If I could, I'd do a tap dance to it just to make it fun, but I don't have it in me. So we just want to make sure everybody is clear on what the expectations are. All right, how many of you have a one-to-one device? Let me see, because I might fly through this. Okay, so just a couple of you. So you guys have signed that P3 form. Keep your computers charged. These are things that you should know. Keep computer in its sleeve. Plan to keep track of all your accessories. Protect it. Don't decorate it. It is the Puyallup School District property. Please do not decorate it and put all the fun little stuff on it. I know that this has all been given to you guys. I think this one's a huge one. Don't leave it in your car. If you're at Pierce College, bring it in with you, you guys. I can't tell you how many students here and at the college that their car's been broken into because they see a bag. Oh, I died. Because they see a bag. So that is huge. Do not leave it in your car. Just don't. And also with the theft, there's also the heat and the cold. Like, none of that is good for your laptop, and you are responsible for it. Good thing. If you are, how many of you are in sports? Okay, awesome. After school activities like drama, that kind of stuff, clubs, all of that. Bring it inside, talk to your coaches. They will have a safe place for it. Again, do not leave it in your car. Can't stress it enough. If you got time to go home before your events, leave it at home. All right. Again, it's a district computer, and I just don't want you guys to get stuck with a huge fee. And then all of you have signed the P3 form, right? I think you have to get it. So you know about all of this, the damage protection that you will get. Making sure you're not putting stuff that's not supposed to be on the computer. Okay, this is all in the form. I'm just looking because computers. Okay. Yeah, just be safe with it, you guys. It's not your personal one to do all your personal stuff with. How many of you have a personal computer? Perfect. Use it for that. Don't use the school one. Your computer should be a learning tool that provides access to the world of information. Have fun, be safe, responsible, kind. Be kind to your computer. Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
Oh my God, it's James's slide.
Where's my other slide?
It looks like it's done.
Okay, hold on, we're not done. That was really weird. My other slides are missing. Hold on 1 second. Do you have something to say, Ms. Buxton? Well, I had that on a slide, but my slides all of a sudden disappeared. Hold tight, go ahead. Okay, guys, I need you to listen up. I apologize. Let me see what's going on.
I want to talk to you for just a minute about assessment because there are major changes this year and for graduating students going forward. So there was a change in the legislature this year. It affects the class of 2020 and moving forward. So all of you in the room are juniors and seniors. You do not need to take the Smarter Balanced test again, even if you have not met standard, because there are now many alternative options available. So for Running Start students, I know that most of you who haven't yet met standard in both ELA and math, it's probably math. So these are some important options that you have. One, you can take the ACT or the SAT test. If you get a 16 or higher on the math ACT, that qualifies. If you get a 430 or above on the math SAT, that qualifies. I just need to see the test score form, I can file it for you, and that's done. You don't have to worry about it. Another option that is really good for Running Start is dual credit. So if you take a math class that's a 100 or above level math class and you get a C or better in that class, once the grade's posted on your transcript, I will file it with the state and you've met the math assessment requirement. Okay, there are a few other options such as ASVAB. If you are thinking about going into the military and you take the ASVAB test and you get a 31 or higher on the ASVAB test, you can use that score for both math and ELA. And I think for most Running Start students, those are the dominant categories that you probably would want to access.
And all that information is actually on the High School and Beyond plan. So just, and we'll get to that. Go ahead.
The other thing that you need to know, juniors, if you are a junior, all juniors are required to take the Washington Comprehensive Assessment of Science. It is not a high school graduation requirement, but it is a federal requirement, and that will be given in the spring.
And so how does that happen for Running Start?
So for Running Start students, we're going to have late start testing in the spring. You'll be invited to come in the morning and participate in that. But if it doesn't work out with your Running Start schedule, then I will schedule after school testing for those of you who have class conflicts. So I'm really going to try to be as flexible as I can with the test, but it's really important that you take it because it is a federal requirement. Also, many of you may not realize this, but if you score a 3 or a 4 on any of the Smarter Balance tests, then you're eligible for credit retrieval in several course areas, which means if you bomb out in a class in high school or at peers, then possibly I can help you retrieve credit for that course by 3s or 4s on the state test. So there is a tangible benefit for you to do that. Getting a 3 or 4 on the state test also makes you eligible for college level classes, especially at the community college level, without having to pay for additional testing. So I think that covers mostly everything, but if you have any additional questions, you can call me or email me anytime. You can talk to Mrs. Mullen. We're here to help you with that. But those are some really, I think, great changes that you probably will be happy with because it gives you a lot more flexibility after you've taken the test as a sophomore. You are required to take the test as a sophomore, but you guys are already past that, so you don't have to worry about it.
Any questions for Ms. Bexton about the assessment?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so High School and Beyond plan. How many of you are already in the Schoology group? Raise your hand. From last year.
What did you say?
So, here's the deal. For the High School and Beyond plan, 1, graduation requirement. Unless you are doing House Bill, it's not going to come to me, 28. If you want a Puyallup School District Emerald Ridge diploma, you have to complete the High School Beyond plan. You guys, this is not difficult for Running Start. So basically, join the Schoology group. So take a picture of that, join it right now, whatever's going to work. Those are going to have all your resources. It'll have your plan.
Yeah, I'm ready.
It will have your time log. It has everything in there. I will tell you today at 10 o'clock, I'm finalizing an updated plan because I hated last year's plan. I made some minor changes so that it's more equitable for you guys. Like there was this 8th grade piece. I'm like, okay, that just needs to be a separate document. I think one of the questions, nothing against Ms. Buxton, but one of the questions last year was, what does your assessment results say about you? Oh my goodness, I just dislike that question so much, so we changed it. So good stuff that's changed. So look for that update. I will do announcements on there. For seniors, biggest thing right now, get your 20 hours completed. So there's a time log. That's online too. Fill it out. Put, what your 20 hours are. It could be a combination of events. It can be from 7th to 12th grade. You do not turn that into me. You sign it off. That is your talking piece when it comes to your senior interview. That senior interview is going to happen, and I made this change last year, and I think it's a real good change for you guys. Our counseling staff is amazing. That senior interview will happen in January, February of next year when you're getting your spring enrollment verification form, EVF. I always have to think about that. EVF form signed. It makes sense. I don't want you guys having to come back on campus. When we do our regular senior interviews, which I think is going to be March 12th, 13th, right around there. So I'm trying to make this good for you guys because I know that you're balancing college and you're balancing high school. So keep that in mind. If it were me, I'd be like, if I'm not done with my 20 hours, I'm gonna get it done before November. That would be my goal, or December 1st. That's done. High school and beyond plan, you guys, it's fillable. You're already doing the work. You're already meeting with your counselor. Some of you, this is year 2 with your counselor because you're in year 2 of Running Start. So it makes sense that you would be doing your senior interview with your counselor. You guys have been talking about post-high, you've been talking about pathways, you've worked through all that, the assessment, all of that. So when you call, and I can't stress enough to call and make your appointment, don't just come in to get that spring EDF form signed, you're coming for your interview. Come dressed professionally for that interview. You would have a high school and beyond plan in your hand, a professional resume, and your time log. There'll be more information coming out about this, but seniors, stay on it. As far as the EDF form goes, don't just come and show up in the career center. I know that happens sometimes, you guys. You really need to make an appointment. The counselors are trying to accommodate you, but their calendars are really full. So for them to stop and just go, okay, come on in, they're putting someone else off, and that's not okay. So again, I really would like our Running Start seniors to be done with their senior interviews when you get that EDF form signed. Now, is that fair because the other students aren't doing it until March? Yeah, it's fair because you are not here 5 days a week, right? We're trying to accommodate 2 schedules, so we need to make accommodations for that to make it up. All right? So as always, if you have any questions when it comes to that high school and beyond plan, you let me know, you let Miss Butler know. That's our thing. That's what we're in charge of. So we will make it happen. Am I missing anything? No, I think that's it. Any questions about high school and beyond plan? Now's the time to ask. If you lettered in community service, all you need to do is present that certificate you got. All right? So you don't need to do the time log. You got a certificate. So just know that. Yes. Good question. Do you need signatures on the time log, did you say? I think it just has student signature. I know we changed some things on it, so look for that new form. But we're not asking like in the old days. It would be like mentor signature, contact information, and we're not. It might have a mentor signature on it, but I don't think so. I think you actually just list it because now we're saying it's 7th through 12th, and it could be a combination of stuff. All right? So you'll be good. And say you didn't get the mentor signature, we could be flexible on that. We would just talk it through to see what it is that you did. All right? Other questions? Okay. How many of you are done with your 20 hours? Seniors? Oh, juniors? That makes my heart so happy. If you need hours, I will say this, hours. I have a bunch of stuff happening right now. If you want to work the fair, I have fair parking. If you want to package food, we're packaging food for Fir Grove and Desi Evans this Thursday. So come see me after the meeting. I can get you set up. So this is huge. Communication. For seniors, you need to fill out that Jocelyn's card and leave that with me today. So if you didn't get it filled out, we'll do that after, and then you can leave that with us. There is a senior class meeting on October 3rd. My goal is that you guys, if you're not able to make it, so that's a Johnston's meeting on October 3rd. I don't want you missing class. If you can't miss class, know that we're always going to film these and then we'll post them. That's our goal this year. We don't want you to miss Pierce classes. If you don't have class, then it would be good for you to be here because it's time to get questions answered, and they've got all the information on graduation. Part-time, watch the website, news, and bell schedule. So let me say this. We do our best to communicate with you guys, and we're really stepping that up again this year. But you guys need to understand, as a Running Start student, it's on you. You have to take management of that. It's not on us. We will always post on our website of our bell schedule changes. How else? Through Messenger, all of that. And on School Messenger.
School Messenger, Schoology, it's on the website. There are 4 or 5 different ways that you guys can always look up the information, but you have to look it up.
And I think
if you haven't checked in on your Schoology yet this year, do it today. Make sure you can still access it. If you can't, Schoology needs to go through EdTech, so there are separate steps that you need to go through. Home Access Center, if you can't access that, give us a call. We'll check out your access and go from there. But you can, every day, check and see what the changes are. Make sure you do.
yes. Homecoming Start section now.
I'm not in charge of the
Working on
website
that.
anymore, but
Yeah.
I believe that to be true.
We're gonna do a survey in a minute on best way to communicate with you, so that I'll get that information out. But you guys, I mean, every year we get students that call, like, Mag, you just don't communicate with us. Oh, we really do, we really try, but it's a lot of work. You're being an adult, you're going to college. We are so proud of you. We're gonna do everything to bridge that gap between college and here, your high school journey. But you've gotta take ownership of it, you guys. It really is your responsibility. So the information is out there. And anytime you get confused, because sometimes, oh my gosh, you're balancing a lot, definitely reach out to us and we'll answer that question. Any questions about that? No? Okay. All right, so this survey I need everyone to take. This is going to tell me what is the best way to communicate with you throughout the year. So it's only a couple questions, and I really need you to do it here. Apparently, Lasso said it works if you like zoom in on it. Does it really work?
It does. If you have an iPhone, it will work.
That is so cool.
Whoa, that's weird.
So
You
hopefully
go to your
that
camera
link
and
still
zoom
works.
in
I
on
set
that
up
code and
yesterday.
it opens the website.
Ooh.
That's so weird. Oh.
How many are in the survey? Let me show my hands. Okay,
Well,
so it is
I
working.
don't know.
Okay, awesome. So take a few minutes to do that for me.
That's not gonna work.
A lot of people don't have connection in the school like me, so
Both. Text?
You can. Yes, and I'm gonna send it out.
I have no connection.
the school sucks, bro. It's like right
This is
outside the
super
city
important to
center.
me,
Yeah,
you
it's
guys.
the auditorium,
I
like,
really
cuts
want
off
to
the
know what you
auditorium
have to
and the
say.
TTC.
So I think
Yeah, I
it's,
know. They did that on purpose, I think.
asking you,
That's my time. I gotta go to class.
asking you best way to communicate. It could be just email, it could be email and phone. Put that email down. But I also need to know, what is it that you need from us to really bridge that journey between college and high school? That's important to us. You're important to us. So if you want, please answer. Thank you for coming. You guys got class? Okay, thank you. What's that?
The last one they have student thing.
Yes, last thing. So as
And
soon
if
as
I
you're
could
done,
just jump in really quick, just a reminder for all of our Running Start students and to let your parents know, the bookkeeper in the high school is open before school, after school, and during lunches. I know that homecoming's coming up, and I know that I have Running Start students that we're gonna wanna go to homecoming. So please be mindful of her time. We will try to be mindful of yours, but understand that she is not open all day long. So her regular hours are before school, after school, and during lunches. And generally, your guest passes are available 2 weeks before. Any questions on homecoming? Any questions on the bookkeeper?
What?
All right, perfect. I'm sorry.
and you guys, we do have auditions for Mary Poppins for those of you that are in drama.